welcome to Ace Academy. For those unaware, this is a visual novel. This one is more of a dating sim type, I believe, compared to Fata Morgana, and this is the one that I decided to do second. Now, this one does have multiple routes according to the various scrolls I read. I don't know how in-depth this actually goes, what the replay value is, and so on. Best case scenario, this is going to somewhat fill in the void that Sunrider has left, and maybe some of you guys will be interested in it and want to pick it up themselves, we'll see. Now, I cannot guarantee we'll do all the routes or anything like that. We have to see kind of how long it takes and other factors, but otherwise, this is going to be our next project for the near future. Now, I believe this game is voice acted. That should speed up the recording significantly for me since I don't have to do the reading myself. If you haven't followed Fata Morgana, you may not know there was one segment that was really short near the end. That one just took a huge toll on my voice, and if I had to do that here, that's going to draw things out, so this hopefully will be faster. But I'll still provide the narration, by the way. Anyway, I've stalled enough. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road and see how this plays out. Welcome to Ace Academy. Let's get a few things set up for you. Hero. Light. And we'll use of as a middle name in the event they ever ask. Hero's main characteristic. Athletics, speed, and endurance come naturally to me, and I'm always looking for new ways to improve my strengths. I can hold my own in a fight and react quickly in tough situations. Intelligent. Knowledge is power. I excel in academic studies and can pick up new things quickly. Exams are a breeze even with little to no studying. And then intuitive. Do they look stressed? What's their body language like? What are they really trying to say? I always had a knack for reading people and their emotions. So I don't know what impact this is going to have right out the gate, but we're going to go the intelligent route, I think. Generally, I think intuitive would be better for the sim elements, if these actually do make a difference, but we'll see. Intelligent. That's it. Good luck at Ace Academy. So I guess right there, that may give you a little bit of replay value.
Attention passengers.
Ah, here we go. So can I set this to auto, or... No, it's auto save. Settings. Voice, window, scene, all. Oh well. I'm going to mute the mic so you don't hear the mouse clicking.
We will be arriving at our destination shortly. Please ensure you have all your belongings prior to exiting.
Something strikes my cheek. I turn away from the window and see a small hand beside me. Nikki. I glance at her sleeping form. She was always a bit of a restless sleeper. I move her hand back to her side. Not as gently as I could have done it. We're almost there. She may as well wake up. She stirs and stretches with a wide yawn, hitting me in the face again. That one she must have done on purpose.
Oh, hey bro. Looks like I dozed off there. Did you sleep well?
What is the sleep you speak of? I couldn't sleep.
Why not?
I'm pretty sure there was a bear sleeping near me. At least that's what it sounded like. Her eyes grew wide.
Are you trying to say I snore?
Like a diesel engine. Honestly, I'm surprised it didn't wake you.
You're joking, right? Do I really snore?
How can such a small person make such a loud noise?
Oh my god. I can never show my face in public again! Long rides are going to feel even longer if I can't nap. And what about sleepovers? Can I even get a boyfriend?
This part reminds me of someone I used to know so damn much. I can't keep a straight face any longer and burst out laughing. You're fine, sis. It was the guy behind us. She hits me in the arm.
That is not funny.
I can see the smile threatening to escape her lips. The sun shines in my eyes, catching my attention. The sky is ablaze with deep reds and oranges as the sun creeps towards its reflection on the glittering ocean. A soft breeze ripples the trees beyond the coast. The leaves seem to wave goodbye to us as we race past.
Doesn't it look like something out of a fairy tale?
There's a smile on her lips, but her warm eyes search my own. After a moment, she looks down and slinks back into her chair.
You know, you didn't have to come too. You were already in your first year at CINY, and, well, you didn't have to come too.
Great, I can go back then. That's a relief. I'll just wait for this train to turn around, then I'll take the first flight back to the States. Her eyes grow wide and she bites her lip, trying to keep the worry out of her face. I can't help but laugh. We're starting over here, a new life. There's no way I'd let you do that alone. Relief floods her face as she smiles. But more importantly, I heard Japanese college girls are total babes. Nikki's smile stays, but she rolls her eyes.
You're ridiculous.
We have arrived at Izokaze Station. Please stand clear of the doors.
Oh, that's our stop. Come on.
As we exit the train, I'm bombarded with a cacophony of noise. A businessman walks briskly past, talking sternly on his phone, while a nearby mother tries in vain to soothe her screaming child. A group of older women sneak quick glances at us and whisper amongst themselves. Every so often, they burst into laughter. Nikki eagerly steps off the train and breathes in the cool air.
That's more like it.
She glances back at me and puts her hands on her hips.
Hurry up, Slowpoke.
Struggling with the weight of both our luggage, I stumble off the train. The suitcases fall gracefully beside me onto the platform. It's a good thing there's nothing fragile in here. Offering to carry both of our bags no longer seems like such a good idea. Great. Fantastic. Wonderful. I take a moment to stretch my burning limbs. You see Uncle Kaito yet?
Not yet. When were we supposed to meet him?
6:30-ish. Looks like he's running a bit late. Probably traffic. After a few minutes of scanning, a familiar face appears out of the crowd.
Uncle Kaito!
His face splits into a wide grin.
Welcome to Japan!
Nikki giggles at Kaito's English.
Hello, my name is Nikki.
So tempting. Compared to some people I know, that qualifies as fluent English. I spoke to you 2 hours ago. You don't talk like that. Kaito shoots me an impish grin.
Darn, foiled again.
Hold on a sec. I need to see his name real quick. A loud grumble interrupts us.
Sorry.
Uncle Kaito roars with laughter.
Let's get some food in you.
I just noticed his last name. If you don't actually know Japanese, Hikari is the Japanese word for light. So ironically, we have the same last name. It's one of the few ways to write light. I know Akari, Hikari, and there's like 2 more I want to say, but I'm not totally sure on that.
Welcome home.
The other ones could be like sunlight or sunshine or something. Let's stay on task. This place is the opposite of the cozy yet cramped apartment I expected. Instead, I feel like I just walked into the corner of a home decor magazine.
You guys hungry? Dinner should be here soon.
Sweet. What are we having?
Well, I figured it'd be good to expose you to some true Japanese cuisine.
Which is?
Sushi, of course. 100% bona fide nigiri sushi tomaki sushi.
I don't actually know what this means. I just know to is and, so these are 2 different things. Damn it, I hate raw fish. Sushi. Kinda winks at me.
Don't worry, kiddo. Not everything is sashimi. Trust me, you'll love it.
And I need to put a bit of an explanation here for those of you who aren't entirely aware. This is something that isn't actually common knowledge in the US. Sashimi is actually what we call sushi, the raw fish. Sushi itself is supposed to be a vegetarian type food. It's going to be seaweed, rice, stuff like that, vegetables, it could be radish. So sashimi means you're eating fish, sushi means you're eating vegetables. And that's what he's talking about here. You don't have to eat the raw fish, you can eat the vegetable plate instead. I'm still not convinced.
By the way, your things came in a few days ago. I put them in your rooms. Why don't you two go upstairs and start unpacking while I get dinner ready?
Sounds good. Nikki nods and we head upstairs together. The hallway upstairs is narrower than the one back home, but Kaito's house is not small. Nikki heads into the first room on the right. My room is right beside hers, and Kaito's is further down the hall. Even with all of the boxes lying around, I'm surprised by how spacious my room is. It might even be larger than my dorm room at CINY. I head over to the wall and sit on the edge of my bed. Thank goodness Kaito had the beds made before we arrived. I don't remember which box holds my linens. Maybe it's this one. I pull the nearest box towards me and rip the top. Just close in here. Might as well start putting some of this away, though. I just empty the box when Kaito's voice echoes from downstairs.
Hey guys, food's here!
After dinner,
I'm stuffed.
we'll go with the highly civilized response of nom nom. I eagerly reach for more, even after both Nikki and Kaito have put down their chopsticks.
Are you sure you don't like sushi?
Wow, he's really wolfing it down.
I finish the last piece and stifle a burp.
So, what did you think?
It's okay. Kaito sees right through my attempt to play it cool and smiles in triumph. Kaito leans back in his chair, resting his hands behind his head.
So, what was CINY like?
The usual: exams, a messy dorm room, a part-time job.
And you still managed to save enough money to buy yourself a bike.
True, I could have bought it sooner if maintaining a gear wasn't such a money sink.
Oh, you're still using your original gear?
Yep.
Is it giving you trouble? You should probably replace it if it needs that many fixes.
Everyone says that, but when I think about all the time I spent with Dad, I'm not ready to put those memories aside, especially now that they can never be replaced. Besides, Dad was great at what he did. I know there's still plenty of fight left in that mech. I guess, but Dad and I worked on it together. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into it, and I'm not quite ready to give up on all that hard work.
It's true. Especially that one time when Butterfingers here dropped the torch. Remember that? There was a lot of blood.
Nikki? She smiles sweetly at me.
What? I'm just backing you up, big bro.
Uncle Kaito laughs.
I understand. It should be arriving at the academy any day now. All you'll have to do is present the proper ID to claim it. Oh, yeah, that reminds me.
Uncle Kaito jumps to his feet and grabs something off a nearby table. He returns with a packet of papers, which he hands to Nikki.
Here are your transfer papers. They're already filled out, and all the docs you need are in there. All you have to do is hand this to the headmaster first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay. Thanks, Uncle.
Here,
He hands each of us a SIM card.
put these SIM cards into your phones. I've already added credit to them to start you off.
Kaito looks over at me.
And you took care of your transfer stuff?
I nod.
Great.
I pop the new SIM card into my phone. After a moment of waiting, the phone boots up to an empty contacts list. I quickly exchange numbers with Nikki and Uncle Kaito. I can add the rest of my old contacts later.
Don't hesitate to call me if you need anything.
We won't. The conversation lulls into a silence. Hey, Nikki, we should probably unpack a bit before the jet lag takes over.
Good idea.
All right. Don't stay up too late, though. You both have a long day ahead of you tomorrow.
We excuse ourselves from the table and head upstairs. Alright, time to unpack. I managed to put most of my things away before I'm interrupted.
You done unpacking yet?
Nikki seems tense. Although there's a small smile on her lips, her brows are furrowed in a worry. Just about. What about you?
Almost. But hey, what do you think about this whole uniform thing? It's kind of weird, isn't it?
She shifts uncomfortably from one foot to the other. It doesn't make any difference. Does it matter? We'll get used to it. Nikki stares at the
I
ground.
suppose you're right. Oh, I almost forgot. What kind of uniform do you have to wear anyway? I mean, mine's normal, but you're going to Ace Academy?
I shrug. The dress code says something about distinguishing the students in the pilot program from the rest of the student body. The pilots wear teal markings to indicate their program.
Ooh, that sounds good. You transferred directly into their pilot program, right?
Yep.
I heard that program's hard to get into. but I never doubted you. I hope they're ready for you because you're going to kick butt.
Thanks, sis. The clock on my nightstand flashes 11 p.m. I think it's time to go to bed.
What? Already?
I gently herd her out of my room.
It's not that late.
Come on, you don't want to be falling asleep in class now, do you? She pouts, and I'm worried she'll continue to argue, but she just mumbles something incoherent and turns toward her room. Good night.
Night.
I return to my mess of boxes and try to organize them into something resembling a neat pile. As I reach for the last box, a picture frame falls to the ground with a loud clatter. My heart tightens in my chest as I snatch it up and inspect it for any fractures. Luckily, it's unharmed. I run my finger over our smiling faces. Nikki, Mom, Dad. We were at the fair and Nikki wanted to ride the roller coaster. I remember Mom and I had just argued over something stupid before the picture was taken, but you'd never be able to tell from this photo. Mom always looks so poised and together. I place the frame beside my computer, trying to ignore the lump in my throat. I lie on my bed and close my eyes, but my thoughts refuse to quiet. Eventually, my exhaustion takes over, and I fall asleep among a tangle of questions and what-ifs running through my mind. What? Soft sunlight filters through my window, warming my cheek. The distant melody of birdsong is nearly drowned by the annoying blare of my alarm. I roll away from the window and see a 7 a.m. flash on my clock. That can't be right, can it? Commence operation 5 more minutes. I smash the snooze button and am rewarded with blissful silence. Just 5 more minutes and I'll be ready to face the world. That could not have been 5 minutes. Why do you hate me, clock? I'm almost up. I smash the snooze button again. Mornings were not meant to be seen. I can afford to stay here a little longer, right? It won't take me that long to get ready. I'll just sleep another 5 minutes. Maybe 10. Something jabs my side.
Hey, wake up! You're going to be late!
Who is this harpy screeching in my ear? Go away.
Do you really want to be late on your first day?
Oh, right. School. I'll be fine. There's still time. But the jabs to my side are persistent, over and over and over again. Stop it. Stop, Nikki. I pull the blankets down and am greeted by my sister's face, inches from my own.
Good morning, princess.
I glare daggers at her, but she deflects them with a smile.
How nice of you to finally join the world of the living. I almost thought you died in there with how long it took me to wake you. Aren't you glad I came in here and woke you?
I guess.
Now what would you do without me?
Sleep? She crosses her arms and gives me a stern look.
No more sleeping. You need to eat before we go. I know what you're like when you're hungry, and I wouldn't subject anyone to that kind of torture.
She's no fun. She throws off my blankets and heads for the door.
I'll go fix us some breakfast. Don't you even think about falling back to sleep.
Who, me? Just who does she think she's talking to? Whoa, that was close. I really should get up now. Yawning, I let out a small groan as I stretch and practically fall out of bed. Once my legs remember how to work, I begin gathering all my things. While stumbling around the room, I bump into my chair and my uniform slides to the dusty floor. Great. Let's look like the new homeless student. I shake my uniform unsuccessful and gain most of the dust off of it. Good enough. Nothing about this uniform feels natural. Nobody my age wears a suit and tie every day because that's basically what this is. Plus the material is pretty stiff, but I guess that's the price you pay for looking sharp. After successfully dressing myself, I run my hands through my hair, trying to flatten most of it down before grabbing my bag and heading downstairs. Nikki frowns when I finally make it into the kitchen. I don't know what she's so annoyed about. I'm the one who could have used at least another hour of sleep.
Finally! I thought you'd fallen back asleep.
I grunt in response and sit at the table, yawning widely. Before me is a plate of eggs and toast, and my stomach growls at the promise of food. I dig in with gusto, but grimace at the first bite. This is cold.
That's what happens when you lounge around in bed all morning. Now eat faster, we're going to be late.
Geez, someone's crabby in the morning. We finish our meal in silence, with Nikki occasionally shooting hurried glances my way. I wolf down my food and gather my stuff, then meet Nikki by the door.
How are you going to get to the academy?
My motorcycle, obviously.
Oh, you don't need a permit then? I remember you were worrying about that.
Permit? I completely forgot. I'll need a parking permit for my bike, but they should have visitor parking which I can use, if I can find a spot. So what should I do? Should I take the motorcycle anyway and hope for the best, or should I take the bus today and take my bike once I've got my permit? Driving's for chumps. You're right, I'll take the bus today. I need to sort out my parking situation before taking my bike. Nikki nods in affirmation.
Which bus will you be taking?
The line that heads to the south of the city. She pouts.
Aww, I'm taking the one going west.
That's not at the same intersection, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, well, at least I'll help you get familiar with the city.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll see you later then.
Have a good time at school, okay?
She beams at me. Cars whip by as I approach the bus shelter. There are a few people waiting. I plunge my hands into my pocket and lean against the shelter to wait. A sharp squeal of brakes announces the bus's arrival. A few people trickle off the bus, and I fumble in my bag for my ID. As I enter, I tap my ID on the scanner, which responds with an affirmative beep. Without waiting for me to find a seat, the bus jerks to a start, nearly knocking me over. There aren't too many free seats available, so I stumble unsteadily toward the back of the bus. As I glance around, I notice that a majority of passengers are wearing Ace Academy uniforms. That's comforting, I suppose. There's a free seat beside a girl my age. She stares intently out the window and sits with her back uncomfortably straight. Her uniform lacks teal stripes. I guess she's not a pilot. She seems pretty cute, so I wonder why there's an empty seat beside her. Maybe she's not that friendly? I'm lazy. I want the seat. I fall ungracefully into the seat beside her. We sit in silence as I muster the courage to speak with her. Eventually she shifts uncomfortably under my gaze and I clear my throat. You go to Ace Academy too? I mentally slap myself for choosing such an idiotic question. Obviously she does. That was one of the first things I noticed. To my surprise, she smiles warmly at me.
Yes, I do.
She gestures at my uniform.
You're in the pilot program? I heard it's very competitive and difficult to get into.
It just needs hard work. I think anyone can make it as long as they try. She gives me a polite smile. Right, I didn't catch what program you're in, or your name for that matter. I'm Hiro.
I'm Yuna Misaki. I'm studying PHPT.
PHPT?
Pilot Health and Physiotherapy.
Before I can ask anything, the bus grinds to a stop.
Ace Academy.
I hop off the bus and Yuna follows suit. The roar of the departing bus does not dampen the student chatter. Yuna pulls out her phone and checks her schedule. So... I look everywhere but at Yuna. She shifts awkwardly in her spot, fiddling with a piece of thread on her sleeve. As the seconds tick by, the silence grows increasingly heavy. I'm out of here. Later. I should probably head to class. I want to get lost on my first day. She nods in understanding.
Sure. I guess I'll see you around then.
I hope so. She waves goodbye before I lose her in the crowd of students. I check my phone and notice I still have about an hour before class begins. Should I actually head to class early or should I explore a bit? Let's deal with the parking permit. Studying the map on my phone, I steadily make my way toward the administrative building. Luckily, this campus is pretty easy to navigate because these buildings all look the same. Eventually, I pause before the administrative building. confidently push open the doors and agreed with a series of hallways. Of course, more navigating. How very bureaucratic of them. After a few minutes of wrong turns and doubling back, I arrive at a door labeled Campus Administration. What would have been a spacious office is instead crowded with irritated students. Only one person mans the desk, and he does not look like someone who is particularly accommodating. Typical college administration building.
Next!
The line crawls at a steady pace, and after what seems like forever, I finally walk up to the counter. I need a parking pass for a motorcycle.
You'll have to fill out your request online, which you can access through your web link. Approval takes about 1 to 2 weeks, and if approved, a physical pass will be mailed to you.
Before I can respond, he looks past me.
Next!
Hold on. I plant a hand firmly on his desk. He scowls at me.
What?
Let's talk about this. So, there's another one of those moments where I wish I had thought before speaking. He waits for me to finish, but I can see the impatience building in his eyes. It's now or never. Try and be reasonable. That's such a complicated process for something so simple. There must be an easier way. The man taps the desk with his finger.
There isn't. If you have an issue with this process, you can send a complaint online.
It's just a bike pass.
I don't have time for this.
He tries to look around me, but I block him. Come on. I hold his gaze. Just when I think he's about to give in, his expression hardens.
Nope. Next!
I sigh in resignation. There's no getting through to him, so I turn around and start to head out. As I exit the administrative building, I check the time on my phone. 15 minutes left before my first class. I should start making my way there. I pull up the map of the campus on my phone. Luckily, the routes are easy to follow, and I'm soon staying before the auditorium. Thank God for technology. I take a deep breath, steeling my nerves, and firmly push open the doors to the auditorium. After a quick scan of the room, I select a seat near the back. I can tell this is a first-year introductory class based on how spread out the students are and how quiet the room is. I hate that I have to take intro classes again. Some of my electives from CINY did not encompass the full scope of course material, whatever that means. A hush blankets the auditorium as a man strides to the front of the room.
Good morning. This is Piloting 101. Is everyone where you are supposed to be?
The professor waits patiently as a handful of students shuffle toward the nearest exit. I yawn and watch them leave with disinterest. He drags a web page from his tablet onto the screen behind him.
This is the class web link. Consider this portal as your lifeline for the course. You will find all your assignments and readings here, as well as your current grade in the course. You can find my contact information in the tab marked Contact. My office hours are listed, so please do not hesitate to stop by. Even I get lonely at times, and I appreciate visitors.
That comment got a couple of weak chuckles from the room. So this is my unique ability, I'm guessing. Since I chose intelligent, I would guess I'm allowed to memorize things. I don't know if there's a limit, but let's try it out. Memorize the information. I automatically store the information in my memory.
Now that we've gotten all the boring stuff out the way, I'm sure you're all eager to learn more about the qualifier exams on Friday.
The class visibly perks up.
The qualifier exam will not only register you as an active pilot, but will also provide you with your team ranking. I'm sure you've already picked out your teams by now, but I'd still like to remind you all that each team must have a minimum of 4 people in order to qualify.
Okay, we're gonna need a ragtag bag, a band of misfits in order to pull this off. Come on, rogues, where are you? A hand shoots up from the middle of the room.
Yes?
Are you sure exams are this Friday? That only gives us 2 days to find a team.
Soft snickers fill the room. The student visibly shrinks from all the eyes now focused on him.
The majority of students who began their first year here at Ace Academy are aware of the timeline for the qualifier exams and use their summers to form a team and prepare. In the past, we had extended the preparation time before the exam, but found that the majority of students did not need nor want the extra days, so we adjusted our schedules accordingly.
But what about those of us who didn't know about the qualifier ahead of time? What do we do?
I suggest you get to work finding yourself a team. Any other questions?
The student scowls but shakes his head.
Good. The qualifier exam will pit your team's starting 4 against 4 AI gears. You will then be assigned a ranking based upon your overall performance relative to the other teams. Don't worry if you can't defeat all the AI gears. They are programmed to be extremely difficult to beat.
So I have to warn you right here, I'm going in blind. I don't know if this fight is winnable or how the battle system plays out exactly, but that's one of the reasons why I thought this game would be kind of filling in the niche that Sunrider used to have, which is, of course, our mecha game.
Please ensure your gear is in pristine condition for battle. All exams are demonstrated live instead of in a simulator to most accurately gauge ability. Any questions?
He's answered with silence.
Let's get started then. Please check the web link for your assignment and have them complete for the next class. Welcome to Ace Academy. I hope you all have a great rest of the day.
A thunder of chairs scrape along the floor as students file out of the class. Those who remain chat animatedly in small groups. Yawning, I wait for the crowd in front of the door to thin before making my way out of the room. Once I'm by the door, a snippet of a nearby conversation catches my attention.
Hey, did you see what they brought into the hangar today?
Yeah, that ancient-looking thing? I'll be amazed if it still works. Where the hell do you even find something like that? I bet they fished it out of the ocean.
The students laugh loudly. I have a sinking feeling I know what they're talking about. As I hurry out of the classroom, I check my phone and I'm excited to see an email notification. I eagerly read through the email. It's just a note letting me know my gear has been registered and I now have access to the hangar. Well, that certainly makes things easy for me. At CINY, I spent days going through the registration process. We had to submit all of the paperwork ourselves, and of course, nobody in the administrative office was ever helpful. Satisfied, I put away my phone and make my way to the hangar. I bring up the map on my phone and touch the hangar, which lights up. Soon, pulsating lights dot the path from my current location to the hangar. It's a bit of a trek away from the heart of the campus, but I make good time. I scan my ID and walk in. I follow a long hallway which leads me into a grand space filled with towering gears. Every one of them is sleek, refined, and updated with the latest model of accessories and weapons. They weren't kidding when they said Japan was the leader in mecha technology. I walk past several rows of gear until I am reunited with Eagle. A crowd of students surround it. They speak in hushed tones, but break into snickers when they notice me. I push my way towards them, but they disperse before I even reach them. Most are trying to hide their laughter and failing miserably. I give my gear a detailed inspection to make sure it didn't suffer any dings or damages during transit. So far, so good. My gear may be a bit bulkier than others, but it's in great working condition, which ultimately is what matters. The colors are still bright, too. I wonder if they polish it for me or if it always looked this good.
The other guys might laugh at your gear, but I sense that it's different. Spirit. Something that makes it stand out amongst the others. Yes, I can feel this one is truly special indeed.
I hadn't noticed the student beside me. His arms are folded and he's nodding with closed eyes, as if he's saying something truly deep and meaningful. Can I help you? He seems harmless enough. Sort of. I may as well see what he wants. I might even be able to ask some questions of my own afterwards. Can I help you there? Do you need something?
Oh, right.
He seems almost surprised, as if he'd forgotten why he came. He fidgets so much I wonder if he's nervous.
The name's Sho Shinjiro. Pleased to meet you.
He thrusts his hand out in greeting, grinning from ear to ear. I cautiously shake his hand. I'm Hiro.
You're a second-year pilot too, right?
How did you...
Not that many students transfer during second year, you know? You're the talk of the pilot's lounge. A mysterious, foreign transfer student.
That would explain the interest around my gear. I guess I didn't quite live up to their expectations. I'm not sure what they were expecting, though.
And I deduced that you are this transfer student.
I wonder what gave me away. It couldn't possibly be my magnificent golden locks.
I've gotta say, I thought you'd be taller.
So there's our Star Wars reference. He starts comparing our heights with his hand and is a bit disappointed to find we're about the same height. Again, just what was he expecting? We don't all look like Leonardo DiCaprio. I think his perception of America is a bit skewed.
Anyway, you're new here, which means you're not part of a team yet, right?
Right, that's been on my mind since class ended. I nod, almost certain I know what he's about to say next.
Well, it just so happens that my team is lacking that oh-so-vital fourth member we need to be able to compete.
Well, good news, there's a guy looking for a team. Go find him. He looks at me hopefully, then leans in close. A little too close. Personal space, man.
You see where I'm going with this, don't you? Basically what I'm saying is, you should join my team because we're awesome.
I heard his team is awesome. Sorry, I want to see what my options are. As fun as that sounds, I'd like to check out the other teams before committing to any of them. For a second, he almost looks heartbroken, but that is quickly replaced by his usual goofy grin.
That's cool. I understand. No big deal.
I'm glad he's taking it so well. I was worried he wouldn't leave me alone until I joined him.
Most of the other pilots generally hang out in the pilot's lounge. If anyone's looking for more team members, you'll find them there.
Thanks. I'll see you around.
For sure. Good luck, Brosif. Just remember, we're always here if you change your mind.
We wave goodbye before heading our separate ways. So my best bet for now is to head to the pilot's lounge. I pull up the campus map again. A small red light pulsates when I try to locate the pilot's lounge. I'm about to head toward the exit when I spot a group of pilots heading in the opposite direction. Maybe they need another team member. They're already a good distance in front of me, so I hustle to keep up, and follow them through a winding tunnel. I'm pretty sure this is how people get murdered. Eventually, the group disappears through a door, which leads to the pilot's lounge. Good to know. I grab the handle and push my way inside. Groups of students fill the lounge, all of them wearing similar striped teal uniforms. I take a few steps, then pause, trying to decide how to handle the situation. I should probably target groups of 3. Since teams function as groups of at least 4 pilots, my best bet is to assume that any group of 3 is still looking for a 4th member. My eyes fall on a group of 3 students sitting at the far end of the room. There's an extra chair next to them, so I saunter over and take a seat. Hey, you guys look like you're missing a pilot.
And who are you exactly?
Transfer student from CINY. Best in my class back home, looking for a team that needs a skilled member. The group of 3 exchange looks with each other.
Transfer? I heard the exam was pretty tough.
I managed.
Right, well, we're actually not looking.
Later, chumps. She smiles politely and waves over another pilot.
This is our 4th member. Sorry.
She looks at me like he's expecting me to move from his seat. I don't. Any idea who is looking?
We don't keep tabs on all the other teams and their needs. As far as I know, all teams were formed over the summer, but you can keep asking around to see if anyone's missing a member.
Well, thanks anyway. I stand and walk away from the group. Scanning the room again, I see there are no other groups of 3. Everyone seems to have a group of pilots they work with already. So much for trying to find a team this way. Should I see if Shiro will still take me, or should I just head home and try again tomorrow? I've had enough rejection for one day. I start to head toward the parking lot before I remember I left my bike at home today. I forgot to check the bus schedules. Hopefully there's one coming soon. I scroll through the schedules as I hurry toward the front of the campus. Pick up and drop off are in the same location, right? When I make it to the bus stop, there are a handful of students already waiting. I crane my neck to look for Yuna, but she's not there. I guess that was wishful thinking anyway. After what feels like a lifetime, the bus arrives. I'm able to find a seat right away and have an uneventful ride home. As soon as I open the front door, I hear it clanging in the kitchen. Nikki must be home. Just as I predicted, she's stirring a pot surrounded by a mess of appliances. Hey, Nikki. She glances up in surprise.
Hey, you're home early.
Am I? It's right around dinner time. What are you making?
Guess.
I try to peek into the pot, but she hides it from me.
No cheating.
I already know what the answer is anyway. I don't actually recognize this. It's bolognese. Nikki blinks in surprise.
How did you figure it out so quickly?
It's simple. First, you're using a stock pot, which means it's likely a super sauce. Second, you're wearing an apron, which means you're making something that's either messy or stains or both. The cutting board has leftover slivers of different vegetables and is still wet from freshly cut tomato juices and seeds. The knife is still stained with tomato, which means this must be a tomato-heavy sauce. There's ground beef packaging in the trash, and considering the limited ingredients you'd be able to find in Japan, I figure the most likely dish you'd be making is bolognese. Nikki had frozen during my speech and stares at me with wide eyes. As my words sink in and she begins to thaw, she pouts.
That's not fair. You still lose.
What? Are you not making bolognese?
No, I am, but you didn't follow the rules and guess. You did some weird robotic analysis thingy.
I flash her a confident smirk. Nah, I'm just playing. I didn't really analyze the kitchen.
Oh, then how did you know?
I just smelled it. The house smells so good. Nikki giggles and resumes stirring.
Thanks.
I'm just glad you're the one cooking and not me. Everything you make is delicious. You really have a talent for cooking, you know.
Oh, shut up.
She tries to hold back her smile, but fails. Did you go shopping after school today? I didn't know Uncle Kaito kept all these ingredients at home.
Yeah, I did. Sushi yesterday was so good, but I wanted something more hearty today, you know?
To Nikki, hearty foods are comfort foods. Does that mean you had a bad day at school? She blinks in surprise, then laughs.
Of course not. It was great. I met a lot of people at the club fair they held after school. There are so many cool clubs. Did you know they have a kendo club? You definitely wouldn't find that back home. I think I'm gonna try out for their dance team, though. Maybe run for student government.
It sounds like you've had a pretty productive day. She quickly checks the pasta and nods.
Definitely. I'm a little disappointed they don't have a cooking club, but that's okay. They offer a cooking class, which I'm taking. Soon, I will be an expert in Japanese cuisine.
Maybe you can start a cooking club.
Oh, maybe.
I begin to set the table for 3 when Nikki shakes her head.
Didn't you see Uncle Kaito's text? He'll be home late tonight.
I haven't been checking my phone. Soon the table is set and both Nikki and I have a full portion of pasta in front of us.
How was your first day?
It was okay. No luck finding a team, though.
No?
One guy offered me a space, but to be honest, he was a bit strange. I wasn't crazy about the idea of joining him.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, I guess. I was hoping that another team was looking, but nobody in the pilot's lounge was very helpful.
I'm sure you can try again tomorrow.
Yeah, but it would have been better if I found one today.
So, it sounds like finding a team today was super important.
Yeah, the qualifier's on Friday.
But that's in 2 days.
I know. Everyone else knew this in advance and formed teams over the summer.
Well, that's not really fair.
Yeah, but it's fine. In other news, I met Yuna, this really nice girl on the bus today.
Oh, do you like her? Is she gonna be your girlfriend?
Shut up. She was just really helpful.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she offered to help me if I needed anything. It's nice to have someone on campus willing to help.
She doesn't know what she got herself into.
Indeed. I probably should have asked her the way to the permit office, although I did find it eventually.
Did you get your pass?
No, the administrator was a serious ass. I have to fill out a bunch of forms online before I can get it.
Ooh, that's annoying. Sounds like you've had quite the day.
The conversation continues and eventually lulls to a natural close. Soon both of our plates are polished clean. I am so full.
Who told you to be such a pig?
I help her with cleanup. I think I'm going to relax for a bit, then go to bed early tonight.
Yeah, me too. Good night.
Night. We part ways and I head into my room. It's too early to go to bed, so I'll start the process for getting a parking pass. Who knows how long it'll take before they mail me one, and I'd like to get it sooner rather than later. I log into my web link and find the documents to request a permit. It takes me longer than I expected to fill out all the paperwork, and it leaves me exhausted. Crawling into bed, I close my eyes and soon fall asleep.